There we go. Hey everybody, happy middle of the day, 3 o'clock, probably later on the East Coast. Loki says hello. I want to make sure you guys can see me properly because Loki's going a little wild over here. A little bit of an update here. My camera, or my nice camera, because you guys are looking at me through my bad webcam, of course. My nicer camera is in California. They're about to tell me, I think sometime maybe later today or tomorrow. They're going to let me know what the problem is, how much it's going to cost to fix, and of course I'm going to pay for it to get fixed here. And then after that, I should be back up and running for daily streams. Something about just having this quality of a stream, this quality of a camera, really irks me when I go live, so you're probably not going to see me go live using this thing all too much. I have been trying to do more day-to-day videos and content without using this camera, and I think that's the way to go, but you can see how much like my head is like all over the place with this thing. I don't like this camera at all. So today we're going to be doing a nice long 4-hour stream, since I haven't been able to stream so much recently because of all this family stuff going on with, graduations, 5 different graduations parties for my sister, a lot of stuff going on, but good times here. And me, of course, going out to lunch with Loki and stuff like that, or to the beach, excuse me. And hey, Bloom Tower Defense Popper, hope you're doing well, my man. A lot to talk about here as far as Bitcoin's concerned. Guys, as far as a technical standpoint, we're going to be talking about this. We'll be going over some stuff as far as Twitter's concerned, if I find anything interesting there. The normal coin stuff. I was looking up some stuff about the SEC and what's going on with Binance to figure out if we knew any other things going on. And so we're going to look up a couple articles here, but there's not really too much new stuff going on. The majority of the stuff, of course, is really into the technicals here. And, stuff overall hasn't changed so much. We're still kind of in this loading zone here before a lot of people think we're going to have a nice reversal. At this point, I think there's a few things you guys just have to be concerned about. How do I want to do this first? We can go bit by bit here because I want to take some time to look at different moving averages today. Not just your simples, but excuse me, your EMAs, your DMAs, and your TMAs here as well. So, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, we really haven't seen too much divergence coming out of, Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can go over here to the moving averages. Really haven't seen too much of a divergence. You have your lows, you have your lower lows, you have your lows, you have your lower lows over here. Not too much as far as like, oh my gosh, we're looking for some really big pop just now. What everybody's planning for is some type of reversal off of maybe a moving average or something like that. Or I guess that was the theme going on, I guess. I was hopeful that we would have that, but of course we did break down off of those weeklies we have been talking about. Let's move this on here a little bit. Okay, so we're still in this downtrend here. We haven't broken down. We've had multiple attempts now. If you guys are thinking about going long, I would still say this is more of a loading zone, okay? This is not necessarily some place where you want to put the whole, throw all of your income at it. This is still just like a small loading zone. If you wanted to take a little bit of a dollar cost averaging technique, this is still going to be the time to go for that one. If we go over here and look at the weekly chart, you guys can see, let me get rid of these lines here. You can see, unfortunately, that this past Sunday, we did close down both below the 200 and the 20-week moving averages here, and so far, all we've been able to do, guys, is just test out those levels, and we haven't been able to break back above them. Now, we still do have, looks like, another 3 days and 2 hours to test this out, but so far, we have not been having any luck as far as breaking back above those. So if I were to do something very fast and just go over here to the 4-hour chart, and let's say I wanted to make some of these moving averages here. Let's take away the 50, and let's make this the weekly. And let's go over here and make this the, oh, no, that's the wrong one. There you go. Want this to be the weekly as well. You can see how we were kind of buzzing on top of them. Pop, pop here. And so far, we tried to break back above it over here. We got knocked back down pretty straightforward. There still is a chance to break out, I would say. Break back above it maybe over the next two days or so. You're just going to be looking for that short-term pop like this. You guys know when you see a small breakout, you're hoping that it can actually have a stronger move. They're going to have some news as a catalyst as far as I'm concerned there. But one of the things I did want to show you about this 4-hour chart here might not be too important actually at this point. but we were having some divergences popping up as far as the higher lows here. I am happy to see that, so maybe we have an opportunity here to get at least back up to 27,000. Anything above that, you are going to see some hard levels of resistance, but I'm hoping we can have that next big punch there. Going back over here to this weekly chart, I do want you guys just to be aware. Now, this isn't, I don't think, something very important. I talked to you guys about this a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, before my camera broke. And I had been telling you guys about how the momentum was shifting on the MACD here. Nothing to be like, totally scared about, but you were going to start seeing a crossover here and a preemptive like, hey, be careful of some of these zones. I think some of the news with the SEC kind of preempted a lot of the technicals that were probably going to come around. However, news is also part of the trading. So just remember, the last time we had that crossover here was a good thing. This time, probably not going to be a good thing here as well. But the momentum is shifting downwards just a little bit. So just, again, be mindful of that. When you kind of zoom out here on the weekly charts and you guys are checking out Bitcoin or whatever tokens you guys are looking at, I've been trying to go off of a little bit of a order block down here. Just kind of using the two highs from over here back in August, another one back over here in February. I'm hoping that we can kind of find support in that range, because if we don't find support there, I think all of you guys know we're going to be heading back down here to the low 20,000, 21,000, 22,000. Now, to be frank, I don't think that's necessarily a terrible thing for Bitcoin personally. But what I do think is going to happen here, as we've been talking about a lot on the channel, is this is where you're going to see altcoins really start to take the pain. So if Bitcoin just drops down a little bit, I guess what would the percentage be on this one? If it falls down another 12%, kind of brings it back into this middle zone, not to the bottom, but just, 12% or so. It's about $3,000 for Bitcoin, a little bit less than that. You are going to notice more things like Altcoin, coming down even more. And I'm about to sneeze here. Maybe. Will I sneeze? Excuse me, guys. It's been very dusty. I've been cleaning up my house really recently. Ooh. And also just going outside, heck. Okay, let me get rid of this Fibonacci levels very fast. But you can see a lot of coins have not been holding steady over the past few weeks and months like Bitcoin has. AVAX over here, again, not doing well. So if we do see Bitcoin actually have that big drop, not all altcoins, but a good amount of them are going to be making some lows here that we don't want to see them at. So for example, the low for AVAX here is around $10. This is 2021 type levels, okay? 2021 type levels. Bitcoin 2021, before the big move up, it was around 8,000, 9,000. So you are seeing Bitcoin gain some dominance amongst a bunch of other tokens. Dogecoin, now Dogecoin, we talk about it here a lot. It did have that breakdown, but it's not necessarily in a crazy danger mood, I guess, so far, because it is back to where some of these June lows are. But again, if Bitcoin were to drop back down, you may see Dogecoin come back down here to 5 cents perhaps. So it is not in a crisis zone, but still in a zone where you're like, oh, please don't have Bitcoin fall back down to $20,000 or so. BNB, this isn't a special circumstance. I guess we all know about the SEC going after them and stuff. However, this has had a miraculously good move since 2021. There's not really much support holding us here, okay, if Bitcoin decides to keep coming down. We pretty much have the two, let me zoom in here for you guys. The two support levels around $191 and $188, $197, kind of around there. We start breaking down below that. Yeah. Not something good. Not something good. Oops, excuse me, guys. I haven't been talking in a hot minute. You got a bunch of other tokens out here. I don't think they're going to be the most important things. STMX that I've been dollar cost averaging to, still dollar cost averaging to this one, has not had a breakout, but something I'm continuing to buy into. Hopefully it works out. XRP over here did have a breakout after some news came out. Broke out, got slammed back down, now retesting the support breakout here. It's hard to gain some momentum in this. This is even Mana over here. Anything else, I think. Spell token, smaller token here, very small market cap, high risk. Nothing else here that I want to talk about. Pepe, which was all the craze just a few weeks ago. Go over here to the 4-hour chart and you can really see how much it's fallen since it did really hit those highs all the way back in, May 5th is when it actually hit the high, Cinco de Mayo. And then now it's all the way down here. How much has it fallen since the peak? Yeah, about 80%. That's to be expected off of a coin like this. But yeah, I bet you're going to see people, yeah, there's the support level right there, trying to load up. But again, if Bitcoin does fall back down here, Pepe is going to come down maybe like 90% or something like that. Okay, so, and hey, Ken, hope you're doing well, my man. What's a good price to get Matic at? Matic. Where's Matic at? Matic has been something that's been getting hit hard here. Let's go over here to the daily chart. So it did just break down here. I think we talked about this a few days ago. Matching up with some support that we saw back over here. Let me go over here to the weekly chart just so I can get all this info here. Yeah, this one's interesting because it did just capitulate so much during the last cycle, way more than it ought to have, which gave it a really good pump here. Okay. Hey, yeah, so there's not really much of a good time to buy this, is there? Okay. Is it trying to hold up? Okay. That's what it's trying to hold up against. I don't know if it's going to be able to do so. It looks like right now it's just trying to hold the 58.5-cent mark or about there. If you wanted to take an entry position into Matic right now, you could be doing it around 59, 58 cents. I think that'd be okay. Practically speaking, since Bitcoin is having this larger breakdown here where we do see it breaking back down below the 220-week moving averages, you would expect us having another push or whales to try to push us back down, maybe down here to $24,000, $23,000. That should move Matic down quite a bit lower, so that could give you an opportunity to start buying in the low, mid 40-cent range, so like 45 cents, 46 cents. I'd probably have some limit orders placed throughout this area, and then you're going to try to do some buying on the next crash, and then only hold it for maybe 24 to 48 hours as it tries to do a rebound. As far as altcoins are concerned right now, I'm very concerned about them, only because Bitcoin seems like it wants to go on a multi-week little downtrend here unless we have some really big news coming out of the SEC to kind of fix this. But the technicals all of a sudden, we've been talking about this for a while here about how what was the phrasing that I said? The momentum seems to all be shifting more downwards. Now, I was a lot more optimistic about Bitcoin going back down before the big AI boost. And so when the big AI boost came in for the stock market, none of that really transitioned into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. So unfortunately, where the stock market is like grinding upwards and doing very well, you're seeing a lot of the altcoins and Bitcoin having a little bit more of a a pessimistic time, if you will. For now, though, I would try to have some limit orders placed up between 45 and let's just say 52 cents. And then as the market continues to go down, you scoop some of those up and then try to trade them for a nice little pop. Just be careful, because when you're most likely going to want to buy this is when it looks like it's down to the 12 something percent. Like if I go over here, if you go towards the bottom of this, not even like right here, just like towards the not all the way, but just kind of around here. From at least from where we are now, that's going to go 20%, and that's the type of event that you're probably going to want to buy Matic into. It'll be kind of hectic and scary, but that's usually the way you got to play some of these, especially with Bitcoin looking like it wants to flush out one more time here. Because overall, I think I have to keep on reiterating this. Altcoins are kind of in some trouble. Bitcoin, guys, is not really in a bad spot, which is why I'm happy. It kind of makes me happy for the rest of the altcoins out there, because even though the altcoins have been getting trashed and whatnot, we have seen Bitcoin hold up quite well, I would have to say. Same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum did break down below that support level. Maybe you could even drag this back down a little bit more over here, but it's still not doing terrible. Ooh, excuse me, guys, drinking too much water today. My problem with Ethereum right now, just going into this here, is that we have a couple weekly moving averages kind of around 1570, maybe 1550. We're going to need to bounce off of that pretty quickly here. Otherwise, we're going to be in some in a bad situation. But we're not going to probably hit that for another week or so. That's Ethereum down to 1550, 1559. Which from now means Ethereum will probably have another 6% drop, maybe over time, probably not all in one day, but it'll have one of those significant drops over like a week's period of time, maybe even next week here. And then we've also seen the dollar index here kind of just not capitulate, but have a really bad week based off of the fact that we're not having rate cuts here anymore. It looks like they're taking a pause. We'll have to see how all this works out, but a pause is definitely going to make people think that we're probably not going to have any more rate hikes. Inflation's been coming down steadily. Certain sectors are still very painful. I don't think unemployment is where they want it at, so maybe they'll keep it up for a while. But again, going back to what we talked about a few days ago when it came to the rate hike, the rate hike is not the biggest news. The biggest news was them saying that they don't want to cut rates for like over a year, almost 2 years. I think that's where people are going to be like a little like, maybe you guys are going to have to cut them a little bit earlier if we actually do go into a recession here. Okay, let's go back over to Bitcoin on the one, and we can kind of chill out and watch this for a couple seconds. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll talk about some other stuff here in a few seconds, like some Binance stuff, but I want to hear what you guys are saying because I haven't had a chance to talk with you guys for a while. And hey, Ken, where am I buying STMX? I think I was getting on Binance US at the time. I think KuCoin might have it. I know it's not on BitGet. I don't think it's on Fairdesk just yet. Because I originally bought it off of Voyager, I believe. Oh, hey, Bay Area Drifter, happy to see you. I spent 33K on Solana when it was 115. I've been holding it for over a year. Do you think it's going to hit its high again? Solana, yes, but I'm always a little bit concerned about what's going on here as far as this, what do you call it? This SEC thing going on. So I think that's the one big hiccup that you're going to find with it. I have Solana. I've been holding it for a while, doing dollar cost averaging. It's been going down and down like the rest of the market here over the past few weeks. It did take that pretty large drop, just kind of like 80, I think it was, just because of after off of all this SEC drama, excuse me. I do think it's going to reach the all-time highs again, but one of the things, since you kind of do have this more drama heading on now, it's not taking up as much portfolio space as far as a monthly buy-in. So where I might have added $100 to $200 into it every month, you know, now I'm only putting in maybe like $50 to $25, something like that. So my dollar cost averaging is still growing, but at the same time, I understand it's going to face some legal challenges, which isn't going to be bad, but you know how the market perceives it. Just look at XRP over the past few years. You know, it's moving a lot more along with what's going on in the news as far as their case is concerned, and not so much on the technology and the partners that they're making. Is if you guys look at XRP, they're making a lot of deals. Same with Solana. They're doing just fine from like a business standpoint. However, when it comes to their token, their coin, that's where things are getting a little bit fuzzy, because we just don't know exactly what the SEC wants, because the SEC won't actually tell us what it wants, as most of you guys know. But yeah, I do think in the long run it is going to give you some great returns. But yeah, it is going to be a pain to hold for a while, and that does mean that you can trim off some if you want to, as far as how much you invest in it, or if you just want to sell some off for whatever reason. It's always up to you, of course, you know that. Let's see right here. And hey, Yellow Vest, happy to see you back, man. Yeah, what do you call it? It's been a minute since I haven't been streaming as much because my main camera broke, and I had to mail it over to California. So it's somewhere in the Bay Area getting fixed up by Black Magic. But I gotta wait for them to email me and tell me what exactly is wrong with the camera. Then they're gonna say, hey, Mr. Whitman, it's gonna cost you $200, $300, $400, $500, who knows, to fix it. And then I have to go over there and say, okay, I will pay that much money, and then they'll fix it. Then they send it back to me. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'll be back to streaming a lot more regularly when I get my camera fixed up. I don't mind this webcam, but I don't like this webcam. Like, normally I have nice meetings and stuff, Yellow Vest, and so I can, what do you call it, like it looks nice and professional when I actually have like a 6K camera, you know, streaming to them. But going to this, whatever this is, maybe HD, I have no idea. You can see how wizard this is. It definitely is a little bit of an annoyance for sure. Let's go back over here very fast. Let's see, and tomorrow we also get a quadruple witching. Oh, there you go. See, there might actually be some good moves coming our way. Let's see. And hey, is Shiba doing pretty good, Alper? What's right here? What's right here? And hey, Davro, let me know what you want to know about XRP here. Now, let me go back over here. This was something I thought was interesting. This is from the block. Let me zoom in just so you guys can see this a little bit. There you go. There we go. And I do think you're seeing a little bit of this happen more and more. There are a lot of investors out there who have taken these small, like $5 million, $10 million, $30 million, like, you know, billionaires, billionaires giving out small bits of money to these companies to just get a sliver of it to see if it goes somewhere they want to be able to make some money off of this crypto boom, because they're not sure if it's going to make a lot of money, but they want to have some skin in the game when it comes to the cryptocurrency world, the platform or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, the area of cryptocurrency. So I think Mark Cuban is one of those, and that's where his viewpoint is here, which I can totally agree with anyway. But Mark Cuban says SEC and Gary Gensler are throwing crypto startups under the bus. And I do think it's fair enough, especially after we saw all this stuff with all the banking crisis. A lot of the banks that service, a lot of the banks got serviced by Silicon Valley Bank. So they have their money after all said and done, but it does make it a little bit more difficult here. Billionaire investor Mark Cuban argued that the Securities and Exchange Commission approach to crypto leaves entrepreneurs and startups on their own without clear guidance. I think everybody wants some guidance here. Cuban largely denounced the convoluted rules for startups to follow, especially those in Web3. He suggested that the SEC and Congress create a basic registration system for tokens and exchanges that can enable startups and industry giants alike, all while protecting investors. When I and others ask for a bright line guidance and oppose regulation via litigation, the businesses I see that are thrown under the bus by the SEC and Gary Gensler are the dorm room startups that are driven by sweat equity. Cuban wrote on Twitter. So I guess think of Mark Cuban or something like that. Just working in your garage, really hustle and bustling. It does make it hard to do that when you have no idea how the regulations are kind of written out. And if you guys go over to the SEC and try to find these regulations, they don't make any sense unless you're really an expert in the field. And most people in startups are not necessarily experts. They're two guys that have vision. They're trying to figure it out. Then as time goes on, they get funding and they're able to hire some of these experts. And maybe the experts get a little bit of funding as well. But it is pretty interesting to hear Mark Cuban say this. And then the other one here, I think that's kind of important after I take a sip of water here. I'm not going to sign in. I don't actually have an account with the New York Times. I don't think I do. Maybe through Twitter, since I pay for Twitter Blue. Not entirely sure. Binance spars with the U.S. regulators over asset freeze. A judge urged the Securities and Exchange Commission to reach a compromise with Binance that would allow the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange to continue operating in the United States. That's good news for Binance and for all of us, to be frank. A federal judge on Tuesday urged the Securities and Exchange Commission to strike a compromise with Binance that would allow the global cryptocurrency exchange to continue operating in the United States as it fights for a civil fraud lawsuit filed by the regulator. Last week, the SEC charged Binance and its U.S. affiliate with mishandling customers' deposits and lying to regulators. It also sought to freeze the company's U.S. assets, a move that Binance claimed would force it to shut down in the United States, which would be terrible for the entire market. That's kind of a big capitulation event where you could see Bitcoin go from, wherever it is now, $25,500 all the way down to like $22,000 within a matter of days. So that's not what we want to have happen here. We want Binance to remain open. Now, at a hearing in Washington on Tuesday, Judge Amy Berman Jackson of the United States District Court of the District of Columbia, which is very liberal, asked the two sides to confer on a possible agreement over the asset freeze, arguing that they were closer to a deal than the rhetoric in their court filing suggested. Judge Jackson ordered them to continue negotiating and to submit a status update by Thursday. Okay. Now, I don't know much about Amy Berman Jackson. I know the court is pretty liberal, but she might not be. U.S. courts. Can I just go to Wikipedia? Okay. So she's currently 68 years old. American attorney serving as the senior United States District Judge on the United States District Court of the District of Columbia. Law school. Does it say where she went to law school? I don't know. It doesn't really matter as long as she had the degree, right? Let's see. Jackson has served as a legal commentator on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, and NBC. That's when you know they get around. I wonder how much those people get paid. Anything else here? No. Let's see. Not much in here. I don't know much about her. Career, guess what? Judge of the United States District of Columbia. Nothing else here. Appointed by Barack Obama. So she's definitely more of a liberal judge, but probably not full-on leftist type of thing, which isn't, that's probably good. There we go. So she seems like a pretty moderate, not liberal, but maybe moderate judge. Again, I have no idea. I didn't really look into her history all too much, but it is nice to see that kind of that type of judge saying, hey, make a deal, because we don't want to see Binance have to close down everything in America, because that would be catastrophic for so much people that have money there. I don't think, actually, hold on. Let me type this in here very fast. How many people have Binance US accounts? Let's see. So this is back in 2021, but it says Binance had 28.6 million annual users on its platform in 2021, an increase of 7.1 million users from the previous year. So, if we can surmise that crypto has been going down, for the past couple of years, that might be somewhere around 20 million, 18 million. That's still a lot of people that have cryptocurrency on there, and I bet you may even have more than that, just that still have actual cryptocurrency in their wallets on the platform. So if they were forced to close, those people might not even realize what's happening, because they might have just gone in for a quick buck. When the market's going up, it's usually the people that we're selling to at the end of the day, during the top of the bull market here. And so that's something to be aware of as well here. And a Bloom Tower Defense. Yeah, if you give me a stock, I can look it up for you. I haven't been even checking out too many of the stocks recently. I've been just so preoccupied. Looks like today overall was pretty good. CVS popped up a little bit. Visa, of course, up. ZOM up a little bit. How's my oil stocks looking? It's still looking the same. I guess that's okay. Schlumberger. Oh, Schlumberger's looking for a breakout. That'd be nice. My PXD still holding. That's nice to see. I've been holding a bunch of this, mostly for the dividends, though, not necessarily for the day-to-day movements. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, even Apple's making some nice moves here. Okay. Go back over to Bitcoin. Yeah, if you let me know which one, I'll be happy to look it up for you. And what's right here? There we go. All right. I want to go see what's over here as far as Twitter is concerned, though. Explore for me. Gorsuch, Conor McGregor. This is never... I don't spend enough time on Twitter for it to actually know me. Chris Cuomo, Chingy? US Open is something I would actually like. I don't know who Ron Johnson is, though. Our newest intern getting ready for work. Oh, geez. Let's see. Hong Kong's banking regulator is pressuring lenders to take on Bitcoin and crypto exchanges as clients. Oh, that's nice to see right there. China is really making a push for cryptocurrency, and the same with BlackRock. This is actually something I think you guys would enjoy reading. Let me go over here very fast. All right. Take this move right here. It's right here. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I had to time out that guy for spamming. No spamming. The stock is Mullen. Let's go over here. We've done analysis on this before. Just don't remember much about it. Yeah, Mullen Automotive. Okay. Okay, so obviously this thing is not doing so hot. It looks like it's been going down for a long time now. Had there been any splits? Yeah, there was a split right here. Didn't even do anything. Wow. Yeah, this split could not stop this. Split. It went from $1.42 all the way back down here to 25 cents, all the way down here to 20 cents. Huh. All right, so you've reached a little bit of a temporary bottom here. This is not something I would say you want to buy into for the long term, unless you want to do one buy only and just hold for as long as you want to hold. Usually you just got to be a little bit more careful of this, because if I go back over here, let's just go to the weekly. This is back. Where am I looking? Right here. December, January. Okay. That January. Okay. From year to date, it's down about 97%. So I would say be very careful if you want to hop in here. This is going to be something that's going to probably drive you nuts if you buy into it. Usually in these circumstances, when you see something like Mullen, Hold on a second here. And hey, Matt, it's happy to see you. I'll answer your question in just a second. There we go. Mullen Automotive. What is the market cap looking at this point? Yeah, it's 48 million. Just toss 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 bucks into it. Don't touch it ever again and see what you can do. But I mean, man, they are just losing money left and right. Yeah, the director even bought a whole bunch. This was in July at 82 cents, 79 cents, 92 cents, and now the price is still all the way back over there at 26 cents. Yeah, look at this. And oh, this is last year they bought it at. Last year they bought it. Oh wow, yeah. And then I guess you have September, February. This is this year. February sold it for 32 cents. Yeah, almost $5 million. The CFO sold off some there too. Oh man, yeah, this is yeah, not so great. Not so great for them. So I would say be very cautious if you even want to like go into this one. This one just looks like it's a dumpster fire at this point. If you're looking for that short-term move, which I think is probably what you're looking for, if you can see it settle down for like more than 2 days, 3 days without breaking down below the support level here of around 20 cents, then you might want to toss in some money, but you should really just have a 19.5, a 20-cent stop loss and make sure that stop loss is there. My only concern about, when you do this with stock market, of course, is the stock market does close, and so you don't want to see a major gap down the day of. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but a lot of times, even I think if you're on Robinhood these days, you will actually have the opportunity to sell during pre-market if it does hit that. You're just going to have a special setting on your computer or your trading software. But you can see, not always, I guess, you do see some wild swings here, because somebody tried to load up on this right here, and of course that didn't work out. But yeah, I would say you'd probably just want to buy this over the next few days if it settles out, $100 most, and on top of that, what I would actually say is if there's any options available for this, see if you can find a 50-cent option that expires in December, like way out there. So if it actually does have a really big pop, you'll be able to sell for a decent profit, but you're not going to have to wait. You're not going to be hit by that theta happening so much. So, somewhere in December, even heck 2024 if you really need to, and see if you can buy some cheap options that, maybe $100 options here for those 10 contracts or something like that. Yeah, but that's been getting hit very hard. What's right here? And BlackRock. Oh, your average isn't so bad compared to a lot of others out there. not so bad. And BlackRock, yeah. Let's go right here. So this is from Coinbase. Oh, excuse me, CoinDesk. There's so many coin websites here. Yeah, take my information, I guess. Okay. Let's make sure this isn't playing. Okay. Oh. Okay, it's just gonna move around a little bit. That's fine. So BlackRock close to filing for Bitcoin ETF application source. Oh, the source, I guess. BlackRock will be using Coinbase custody for the ETF and the crypto exchange's spot market data for pricing, the source said. See, BlackRock doesn't want the SEC to be going after Coinbase like this. So I think Coinbase is going to be fine in the long run. I do think a lot of exchanges are going to be fine in the long run. But you can see the powers that be, and I do think BlackRock is a power that does be. Those are usually some of the things that, when they want something, they can usually manipulate the system to get what they want. Now, it's still going to take time for all this to work out, but I'm hopeful that when, BlackRock wants something that maybe that they can overpower somebody like Gary Gensler. Kind of feels weird to be rooting for BlackRock here, but I do want them to start to bring Bitcoin more into the mainstream. I think Bitcoin is kind of mainstream these days, but not mainstream as far as investors and how they're concerned. I think we've been given, like on CNBC and Fox Business and Bloomberg, we've been given little Bitcoin tickers, but really not much besides that. I think CNBC has the like their version of a crypto YouTube, not stream, but it's like, they have a crypto update. It's not really good. It kind of just, it's too corporate, if you ask me. It doesn't really talk about what people are interested in the crypto world, or the cool technologies appearing. It kind of just talks about the bad news. All they want to do is talk about the bad news in the crypto world, which is fine, but don't expect many viewers from that. But yeah, so let's go over some of this as far as BlackRock is concerned. Let me see if I can scoot my seat back. I have not been sitting down for a while. There we go. Put my leg up. And let's see. You guys can still see me. There we go. All right. Beforehand, actually, Mattis, I'm going to give a treat to Loki because he saw me move and he's like, "Oh, I want a treat." Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, Loki. He probably will climb up here. Good boy. There you go. All right. Okay. So, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, is close to filing an application for a Bitcoin ETF, exchange traded fund, as most of you guys probably know, according to a person familiar with the matter. BlackRock will be using Coinbase custody for the ETF and crypto exchange spot market for data for pricing. That person said. Coinbase declined to comment. That's always good news, I guess. BlackRock began working with Coinbase to make crypto directly available to institutional investors midway through last year. Oh, so they already have a partnership up with them. It wasn't clear if the ETF will be spot or futures. BlackRock did not immediately respond to requests for comment. To date, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, which oversees ETFs in the U.S., has rejected every application for a spot Bitcoin ETF, though it has approved several Bitcoin futures ETFs for trading. So I'm hopeful that we can do it. There's not really much news on top of this, looks like. But they're making moves. And I do think if somebody's going to get approved, it's going to be BlackRock. Now, I do think it's still going to be an uphill battle for them, BlackRock at the first, because Gary Gensler is just freaking, he's wild, guys. He's wild. He has no idea what he's doing. So I think what's going to mostly benefit all of us is more people talking about Gary Gensler and kind of the erratic behavior he's having as the head of the SEC. We need to have somebody that's more measured and balanced, I would say, and you're not really getting that with the head of the SEC right now, Gary. But yeah, it is big news in my opinion. It's not really moving the markets all too much, just because probably those types of things never get passed. But I do think if somebody is going to get it passed or approved, so to speak, not passed but approved, I do think that would be BlackRock. They manage trillions of dollars. They are absolutely massive. And if they are trying to get into the crypto markets, they understand there's value there, and they understand that it's not going to be, they understand there's a future there, basically. So another reason why you guys want to just, do some dollar cost averaging, buy and hold. But again, this is about Bitcoin. Maybe it'll be an Ethereum one, but this is not a ape token ETF. This is not a, Spell token, UFO token, BitTorrent, or Ape, or whatever, Pepe, Bitcoin Cash, ADA, or what else is Matic, whatever, Solana. It's not those types of tokens. It's Bitcoin only right now. So, Bitcoin really is still the leader for the foreseeable future as far as how the institutional investors are thinking about this. But the fact that institutional investors can get into Bitcoin nowadays, I think, is a very good thing for everybody. We want to see more people get into Bitcoin. We want to see more people making money from Bitcoin. And as more people make money from Bitcoin, I think it's going to help all of us out. We just got to be mindful that I think we fall into this trap here as Americans. We usually think that Bitcoin is only revolving around America. It's not. There's a lot of other stuff besides what's going on in America actually affecting us, which is good and bad, I guess you could say. But I like being stuck up sometimes, be like, yeah, America. Then other times I'm like, yeah, we're America, but yeah, we don't have all the money in the world, even though our politicians act like we do, right? And hey, Bideford, happy to see you back. Hope you're doing very, very well, and good afternoon as well. If we have a new bull run and institutions jump in, you think markets could get crazy pump? If so, just out of curiosity, how high would you think we can go? Just your opinion. So, okay, let's kind of back up here a little bit. Let's go back over here to the monthly chart. I see you, Loki. I see you. Let's go over here to the Coinbase chart that gives me more data. Okay. Doopity boopity boo. Okay. Normally when I'm looking at some of these, I like to go back in time a little bit to check out some of these Fibonacci extension charts. So one of the last ones we used here, I think, was all the way back over here from the lows we saw in 2015 to the high we saw in 2017 when crypto finally became popular to down here, that next big drop. And it's not perfect, but you can see some of those levels of resistance. I don't even know if this is the right one. There we go. That's the bad one, yeah. Okay, take it off a log. I think if we were going to have institutional investors hopping in here on top of what the whales are doing, I don't necessarily think we would see something like this. or like this. Okay. I think when institutional investors get in there for a while, I think the chart as far as Bitcoin's concerned is going to look a little bit more, well, let's just say for this example that Bitcoin's not going to make any new lows. We're fine for it now. You know, everything's good. You know, you might see something more like this, more consolidation, and then one, oh, this is just a horrible line, isn't it? It doesn't matter. Much more stair-stepping, if that makes sense, much more consolidation periods, much more range trading, and not necessarily these huge mega booms. It's really going to be a fight between, I can't draw a whale. Yeah, I don't even want to try to draw a whale, but that's a that's a whale versus the institutional. So just think of the you know, little window here, little window here. The bankers. That's going to be the big battle, basically, because the whales are going to try to manipulate the shit out of Bitcoin to really punish the bankers, and we'll just be along for that ride, but it's going to be a big battle there. But basically, you can imagine the chart of Bitcoin. Imagine it looking less like this, where we have these really big pump months, and you're thinking of more of an Apple, maybe, where it can have some really juicy months here. Like right now, Apple's breaking out to new highs, but a lot of times we do see these like little periods, like where we're looking like down, 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 something more like this. Now, you're still going to have your volatility, but more of just your average tech stock. It does have those really bad times every now and again, but it's much more steady, I guess you would say, right? Even when, oh, this is so far back in time now, it's so hard to do this. But, you know, even when Apple does have these big drop-offs, you're looking at a drop-off of maybe 34%, not where we are right now. Over here, a drop-off of 38%, you know. Not as volatile, so you're not going to have as many huge buying opportunities like you might otherwise have in the past, but still looking okay. But as far as a price, I was just going to do a guess on a price. Probably close to like $90,000, $100,000 for Bitcoin at that point. It wouldn't be happening anytime soon, I would imagine, just because of all the carnage going on with crypto, the SEC and stuff. But once we have a set of rules and Gary Gensler's out of there, the market should flourish pretty easily. Right now, we're seeing some crises a little bit with credit and banks and that stuff. I do think as we come out of this next recession, if we even do go into a recession at this point, so kind of unknown, I think it's going to be easy for us to get to 80,000, if not 90,000. I think we might have more issues here is if we do eventually pump up to like a 100,000, you know, 110,000, something like that. I do think it's definitely possible, which is one of the reasons I like to buy up some of this stuff. But again, you're going to have to, I mean, what's the best way to do this? You could even go back over here from the new ones. Now, ignore most of this because up here, this is like 150,000, right? But up here, we do have a nice little level of resistance around 88,000 or so. Above that, we get up to 140,000. I don't think we're getting anywhere close to $140,000, but I do think somewhere in this range here of like, you know, let's just say 80 to 100,000. That'd be my price target. I don't think it's going to necessarily do a whole bunch to have institutional investors in, because I don't necessarily see institutional investors doing all too much holding. I see them doing a lot more trading. So you might see more breakouts working in your favor, a lot more momentum working into your favor. But then they would also have stop losses, and to a certain degree, they would also have a lot of computerized bots, you know, trading as well, which could make things a little complicated down the road. But for now, you know, I think let's just say a minimum 80,000 at the most, maybe $110,000. I might be a little bit more exaggerated than other people, or I think I might be a little more bullish than other people. But I do think we can get up pretty high with those with institutional investors helping us out. Excuse me. Toyota is going to be wild, $853 million in Japan backing new EV battery. Whoa. For most car burns 900 miles per charge. See, that's what he calls. And oh, hydrogen engine success. 900 miles per charge is going to be crazy. And aren't the cars in Japan much smaller too, so they don't have to have so much bulk and weight? I know in America we love our large cars. I have a Ford Fusion SEL, but one of my neighbors has like one of those smart cars that just goes all around. But like I need my space because I have to have my dog. I need to have my sister and my mom all in there at one time if I do need to drive people places. I need to have a place for my mom's wheelchair. I have to have a place for my mom's walker if she wants to walk instead. I gotta have room. I don't know how people can have those small cars, or maybe they have small cars because they do have small cars plus maybe an additional van or something like that. Because I know they do have a van, so they have options or something like that. Do I think SPY will keep going up, or are we about to hit the top? I think we're getting closer and closer to hitting the top right now. We've hit kind of the end of the rate hike cycle, I guess you could say. But let's kind of back up just a second here. AI is saving the stock market right now, and that is perfectly good. That is amazing. We were about to die off here a few weeks ago when we were looking at the support, then all of a sudden ChatGPT came onto the scene and boom, Microsoft making a bunch of money. Ooh, Google also has a AI. We got to check them out too. Oh, all these AI small companies all of a sudden coming out of nowhere. Oh, you got to buy your AI company this. You got to buy this AI company. You got to be exposed. You got to get into NVIDIA. Oh, you know, and that really saved the market here from hitting that lot. Plugged in. Let's see. Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Are we good? Are we good? Okay. Sorry, for a second my signal went out and I was like, uh-oh, I don't want to talk when I don't have any signal. Okay. But basically, AI saved everything for us. If we were to have, I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a pullback, okay? That pullback is not going to be something that you guys should be really freaking out about. It's going to be an opportunity to buy for the majority of people that are on Wall Street. I am not going to buy a long term on it, but I do think that next buy-in opportunity would be sufficient to make some good swing trades off of for like maybe 1 to 5 day holds. But here, what I'm looking at right now, because the SPY has not been honoring all of its technicals, frankly, I'm just waiting to see when we break down from this. That's in August, September, nowhere close to right now. We may have a pullback eventually that brings us back down. I would be buying if we did have that pullback like I just said. But right now, we're not even thinking about having a big, massive pullback as far as like, I shouldn't say like that, massive pullback like this where we're in a catastrophe zone. When I look at this, you know, you're seeing a pretty easy levels of resistance to spot. That next really big level of resistance is all the way over here at 462. You know, you do have another one back over here. I guess you could draw this around 453, but there's not really much stopping us here because of how volatile this all was, because of the inflation crisis and everything else going on in our economy, Russia invading Ukraine, all the type of stuff, right? One thing here that I think you will like, your basic. All right. So we just spent some time breaking out of this. That's a really good sign right there. That's really, really good. That next one, if I were to, can I do this properly or do I have to change it up a little? No, it's not going to adjust too much. That next big move up here is around 475. Keep on drawing that out. It kind of goes back over here to the highs. You know, if we can get past 460, you know, 478, it's really there for the taking. I guess the next big stop mark, if you're looking for a scale-out opportunity there, because like, guys, we're in this really dumb parabolic move. You don't want to buy into this stuff. You don't want to buy into it at all. Usually after we hit that parabolic, we have a pretty big downside. If you want that next block, so to speak, I'd probably just make this the block right here. And it's still pretty far away. So we're currently at 442. The beginning of it is at 450, so another $8 on the upside. All the way up here to 462, which is another, what, 12? I don't even know what that is. My brain is broken right now. What is this? 450, $8. Another $20, something like that. Yeah, 20. Oh my gosh, my brain is just so off today. But yeah, another $20 or so. We got some more room to run. It might not be as easy as just going up, 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 but we may have to dive back down a little bit and then continue moving up. But overall, we're still in a very good space, and I do think this rally is going to extend a little bit more. People at this point are kind of in a very euphoric mood. The economy is still good, and I won't say Americans are doing very well because you can see them putting a lot more money on their credit cards. However, people are still spending. As long as people are still spending, our economy continues to work. That's a good thing, right? Now part of it's bad, of course, but the economy's still going. That's good. We have no more rate hikes for the foreseeable future. We're having a pause. I don't think they're going to reignite more rate hikes at this point. I feel like they're backing off a little bit here. That's good news overall. No rate cuts anticipated for like 2 years. That's a very negative sign, but it's only negative if we actually go into a recession. And then lastly, people that are very wealthy or hedge funds of sorts, they made a lot of money over the past few years with all the COVID stimulus. Remember, a lot of that COVID stimulus just went straight to the big guy, the big players. They got a lot of money. They sold a lot of their shares when the market was booming and booming and booming right before the crash. In fact, they were part of the crash, right? They still have a lot of money on the sidelines, and they're willing to wait a little bit to see if they can push it up even higher. But there's going to be a point where the valuations get too rich even for them, so that everything is too expensive. That's when you're going to start to have some more better pullbacks. And to me, those pullbacks will probably happen over here around like the 450 to the 462 range. But I think, yes, it is going to keep going for another 2 weeks or so. Let's see. Can I look into EWT? Let me see what that is. Let me know if that's, let me know if EWT is, oh no, Energy Web Token. Thank you for letting me know. So that must be this one right here. To the euro. To the dollar. Not really in many places to actually check this out, is it? Oh, let me go over here to KuCoin. That's something I know a little bit better. Okay, back to July. Okay, so just like a lot of tokens right now, it's not in a good position, but at least it's not as bad as some of the other ones out there. You do see a support level here around 229, 230, it looks like. We're at 252, so a little bit above that. It looks like the issue with this right now is the fact that Bitcoin looks like it wants to come back down just a little bit more over the next couple weeks or so. And so you're probably going to see this actually give up on this support level of around 229, 228 or so. And it's probably going to come back down to maybe $2 or so. Let me see if there's any actually, is there any other, we go back in time a little bit more. No, I guess that's not going to work out. No, we really don't have much data on it. Okay, that's fine. Maybe it's newer actually. Okay. In that scenario, I'd probably say let's go over here. 120. Let's not say it's going down that far. Yeah, next too much. I can't tell you exactly how far it's going to go down. I guess I could just do this. What's the best way to do this? I guess we could do this one. There you go. Yeah, you might see it come back around $1.92 or all the way down here to $1.56. I would assume the $1.93 is going to be a little bit, $1.92 is going to be a little bit better for you, especially because if we have a big capitulation event, this is a weekly chart. Let's go back over here. Down 24%, 20%, like we saw with the with a lot of other coins over the past few weeks. Yeah, that's more reasonable here. I would say at this point though, as long as Bitcoin doesn't capitulate, this is not a bad time to be buying around 252. I would still probably wait a little bit longer, personally, before buying in. But if you don't have any positions, or if you already have a position, I wouldn't be selling it. I would just be holding it at this point. And why wouldn't whales let bankers buy in? Oh, they would let them buy in, but basically, whales trade a lot differently than hedge funds and hedge fund managers, so to speak. Hedge fund managers are looking at a whole bunch of data. They're not necessarily trying to fully manipulate the market. Whales just, they have whale parties where they just manipulate the market down. They break through a big level of support, and they're making a bunch of money while doing it. I don't think hedge funds are necessarily ready for that type of game. And hedge fund guys are really, really smart, don't get me wrong, but they're analyzing tons and tons of data about the earnings, the how much taxes they're paying, all this, really stupid stuff to us. Not stupid, oh, what's the term for it? Fundamentals. The fundamentals of the stock, the company. you're not going to really be doing that too much with Bitcoin. You're going to be just trying to buy low and sell high and doing a little bit. You can use bots and different analytics and stuff, but it's a whole different ball game as far as, the stock market's concerned. Oh, excuse me. Talking so much, I'm burping. Okay, there we go. This Bitcoin's making a nice move right here. Let's see. Yeah, and hey, Bidford, I did hear about that. Let me see if I go over here. Pull up my email. I don't know if they sent me an email about it. I might have to check my spam account too. I got one from MEXC. I don't even have an account. Let's see. No, Fairdesk, Opus, Marcus Investments, BitGet, launching a new phase range sampler. Because I thought they were already out of America, though. Like, you could only use them, I think, if you had an VPN or something. Let's see. I don't see any, but I should probably look into it, I guess. I got my spam account is like full of spam. Like just because it's all YouTube stuff saying, hey, I got this cool thing to give you a lot of views. Oh, I got this thing to give you like a master tutorial on how to sell stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, no thanks. Let's see. But what do you call? I mean, I normally use let me do this very fast. Let me open up a new window. I wonder if BitGet gives you that little heads up thing. So BitGet, trade futures. Sometimes they have that pop-up thing that says, hey, this is not allowed in the country. Like if you go over here to Binance, I think it has that same thing. Binance.com. Yeah, like this whole thing. Binance.com is currently available in a country or region. So visit Binance.us, then you would sign into your account here. I think BitGet should do something like this, but I don't. Again, like I think Binance is playing by the rules. Again, I don't know, but they are getting taken on by the SEC. But maybe that means that they're going to be able to do something like this, because I think I have a Binance account that has like a teeny bit of Bitcoin on it, like a teeny tiny bit of it. But I think I moved it all to my Binance US account a long time ago. Then I moved it over to a cold storage. Let's see. I don't know. I think what happened, I don't even know. When I first started getting promoted by BitGet a long time ago, I liked their exchange. I still like their exchange. But what was interesting was they didn't really have a lot of stuff on their exchange. Like if you go over here to go over here to Fairdesk. Fairdesk is very simple. They have promotions. They have Area V2. You can buy crypto. You can earn. You can learn. You can earn and learn. But they basically have spot trading, copy trading, and futures. Not really much there. But you go over here to Binance, and you can see they got the staking. They got institutions. They got a whole bunch more stuff flowing in here. They got CoinM futures. They got USM futures, spot trading, USDC futures, trading bots, futures info, copy trading. Bot copy trading, so you can copy trade off of bots on this one. It's like there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff you could do. And I wonder if that type of stuff is one of the reasons that the US government doesn't want them here, because I never understand how what exactly stops an exchange from being able to work in America. But let me just see if I can find any news on it or something like that. Get out of the United States, maybe. That's a Reddit post from last year. Yeah, it's like they're all over Asia, but I guess just here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if I just type in Reddit here, the Reddit blackout I think is over. This seems to be something. Oh, nobody's even commented. So yeah, I don't think many people actually know. Let's see. No, this is old. Evan Luther accuses. Oh, that's the what do you call? You can. BitGet has really strict rules about if you guys own a coin project and you guys get the coins onto their exchange and you have a new one, they won't let you dump your coins on a new coin, if that makes sense. Like, imagine I made a Whitman coin or like a Loki coin for my dog, and I had like 90% of all the tokens, and I put like 5% on BitGet exchange. They wouldn't allow me to move all of my tokens onto the exchange and try to sell it. If I did, they would freeze my account, which I think would be very good. Maybe not for me, but for the people that would like trying to buy my token, I think that's a really good thing. But yeah, I don't see any news on it. Let's go news. No, it's all a month ago news, 2 weeks ago. And Kiev shelter and Russian. What does that have to do with BitGet? I don't know. So yeah, I don't really see much news on it, but I would make sure that you probably move your money over to a different exchange. When I'm using BitGet, I really prefer to use the Tron network because it is so cheap. Although I do believe their Ethereum network is probably like $3.06, I think is what the price is, $3-ish. So it's not too expensive either way. Let's see. ATTO? I don't know what that one is. ATTO. And Tento. So this does not have a lot of liquidity, so you should be very careful when buying into this. This thing is something where you just want to buy and hold for a very long period of time. You don't want to just get in and out. The volatility of this one does not look good at all. Let's go over here to the weekly chart. This one's also been something that's been dying down quite a bit. It had a double top a few weeks ago, or a few months ago actually now. Been going down here bit by bit. Commercial services, miscellaneous commercial services. Quarterly not looking so great. Strong sell, of course. There we go. There's the website. Now let me see. Leading next generation CX, enabling humanized connections through every customer touch point. What do they do? Are they hiring? Oh, they're all Latin America. I don't know. Oh, it's an Indeed. Okay. Below average. Oh, man. Art director. The heck? Okay, doesn't matter. As far as the stock, I wouldn't even touch this, dude. This is a dumpster fire of a stock here. If you want to buy, you're just going to buy around 145 because there's no limit to how far this thing can go. It can probably go down even lower. And then you're just going to try to play it back up here to maybe $3 or so, maybe even just up to $2, and then take your profit and run. Personally, though, I'd be like, hey, you might as well just try to hold on to this for a long period of time and just have your stop loss and your target price. So you can have your target price set for, $2, $3, $4. You can have your stop loss set to 70 cents, 50 cents, 20 cents. But it's going to automatically sell when one of those two things hits. I would not stress about this on a day-to-day basis. You just put your money in here, have your stop loss, have your target price, and just wait for it to hit. If it hits either one of them, so be it. You either made some money or you lost some money. But that's, you got to be careful when it comes to this type of stuff. No worries, Delios. Energy Web Token jumps 25% after BlackRock gives decarbonization project a shout out. The nonprofit that issues the coin received praise from BlackRock for trying to reduce Bitcoin mining emissions. That could be part of this whole ESG thing we're seeing. So that may be interesting to keep an eye out for down the road. Is it justified buying it now? No, but it is something you may consider doing a little bit of dollar cost averaging into it, especially if they have a similar interest as BlackRock, and BlackRock's going to be more environmentally friendly. They're trying to push money to make people do that type of stuff. There's getting some pushback for it, but I think they're still doing it as far as I know. And that was August. Oh, okay, yeah. We have to wait till June 21st to close positions and withdraw assets, and after July 21st, it won't be accessible anymore. Oh, okay, there you go. So July 21st, okay. Pretty cool. I'll try to hit my contacts up and see if they can do anything, but you know, probably not the best idea to have a VPN. I wouldn't try to use a VPN or anything like that. I would just take your money and move it to another one. Of course, there's always Fairdesk, who I'm working with right now, but there's Binance US, which is kind of in a pickle. There's KuCoin. There's always a bunch of other exchanges, you know, depending on where you guys live. But exchanges are kind of getting a little weird right now, as far as finding one that's not going to get pushed out by the SEC and whatnot. But again, I have no idea what causes an exchange to be able to work here or not. I guess it's maybe just how much do you want to open up your books. How you know, I have no idea. Like I have to probably do some research on that. Maybe I could go over here to ChatGPT very fast. It might just, I don't know if ChatGPT knows anything about the subject, but I could sure ask. All right, we'll just use GPT-4. We're not going to use any of the plugins or anything like that. Why did Binance have to make Binance US? Okay. Okay, so regulatory compliance, customer segmentation, geopolitical risks, licensing and partnerships, and building trusted U.S. consumers. Excuse me. All right. So the main reason Binance created Binance US are regulatory compliance. The United States has specific regulations regarding cryptocurrency trading, which vary from state to state. To operate in the United States, cryptocurrency exchanges must comply with federal laws as well as the specific regulation of each state in which they operate. And Binance US was created to adhere to these regulations. Customer segmentation, a tailored service to U.S. customers that is in compliance with U.S. laws. Geopolitical risks. Operating in different jurisdictions has geopolitical risks. By having a separate entity for U.S. operations, Binance can potentially isolate the risk to Binance.US without affecting its global operations. Licensing and partnerships. Binance.US operates on a more rigorous regulatory framework and therefore may have an opportunity to establish partnerships with U.S. financial institutions and services that it might not be able to as a foreign entity. Okay. And then building trust with U.S. customers or consumers. So if it's following the U.S. rules, it could probably get more trust, I guess. Let me go over here very fast. Let me just copy this question. Let's go back over here, ChatGPT-4. Let's browse with beta. I browse with Bing. Can you be very specific? Yeah, I'll figure this out here. But yeah, regulatory environment. It didn't even search web browsing. Operating legally, creation of Binance, yeah. Maybe I'll do it like this. Why was the BitGet forced out of the USA? Maybe that's a better way to ask the question. Now it's browsing the web. Yeah, now it's browsing the web here. Because, you know, doing this for as long as I've been doing it, I always find it crazy how many different exchanges have had to move across. They can be here, they can't move here. Makes it very hard to partner with people. That's one of the reasons I had to stop partnering with BitGet, because they moved out. I think after my contract ended, boom. I also had a partnership with what was the other exchange out there? Polynex or whatever it was called. They were moved out too. It's always very. I wish there was a way for me to have some consistency, because there's no way that an exchange like a Robinhood would ever sponsor me, or a Webull. They only want to get paid, and they only want to pay me in certain ways, which is not the way I like to get paid, I guess you would say, for my work. Ugh. Okay, So it says they're not fully detailed in the sources available, but here are some factors that might have contributed. So let's see. So maybe BitGet does not require users to undergo a Know Your Customer KYC verification process, which greatly enhances the convenience and speed at which users can commence their trading activities. However, to ensure regulatory compliance to safeguard user transactions, BitGet has established a daily withdrawal limit for non-KYC users. It might just be that KYC verification. America wants to know exactly who's trading, who opens an account. You know, when you open up a TD Ameritrade account, typically what you're doing is you're just you're opening up an account. You give them your social security number, you give them your income, you give them your home address, and stuff like that. And with KYC, you give them your ID, you give them your address, or I think so, and you they see a picture of you and everything. I think they just wanted to see who's trading to stop with fraud. I guess you would say fraud. I think fraud is just the thing they're really concerned about. But I don't know if BitGet could really make a BitGet US. If they did, I'd be happy to promote them. But for now, yeah, be careful with it, and don't wait to the last minute to withdraw your crypto. Don't wait to the last minute. Money velocity is very low. People are still spending, but the value of USD is way down, and the circulation of money is so slow at the moment. Thoughts? Well, yeah, I mean, I would agree to that to a certain extent. It's just that, okay, I will give you a treat. Sorry, Loki's over here bashing my hand because he's trying to get a treat. I think at a certain point, that's my disconnect from the overall market. If you go on CNBC right now, they're talking about how everything is great and glorious. And then you talk to people like me or just some random guy on the street, and we're like, yeah, I mean, my stocks are doing okay, but look at my city streets. They're fucking horrible. Look at all the businesses that are no longer in the like downtown. What's happening right now? I'm by Seattle. I just think there's a disconnect here, and the stock market isn't a representation of Wall Street. I guess a good way to look at it is like this from a political angle. This reminded me of it watching CNBC this morning. Loki, come here. Oh, you knocked it over. You remember when? Donald Trump became president? He kind of boosted Obama's economy. Like Obama had a decent economy coming out. Trump made it better, right? And then everybody was saying that's not Trump's economy. That's Biden's economy. Not Biden's. That's Obama's economy. And then when Joe Biden came in, and the economy got worse, they were saying, no, that's Trump's economy, not Biden's economy. It'll get better in a few years. I think a lot of the times we just kind of see it in a weird, how do I say this? We always have another way of viewing it. Whatever message I was going to make, it completely got screwed up. It wasn't going to be about like looking at the political angle too much, but basically, Main Street is feeling something completely different from Wall Street at this point. And, we're going to have to wait for one thing to bend or break, but it feels like Main Street is usually going to break before Wall Street, if I do say so myself. And we're going to have to figure out what to do during that point in time. But yeah, I mean, we're not in a good spot as far as like everyday Americans. But if you look at Wall Street, we're booming and humming. Apple all-time highs. Can we justify Apple going to all-time highs right now? No, we really can't. But the market is speaking, so we have to kind of trade along with the market here. Like if I were to go over here, get rid of Mullen, this, credit card debt. I wonder if it's easier for people to get access to credit right now, because I've been, the other day I got an offer extension on credit, maybe because I don't go out so much, but yeah, I started buying some more stuff recently, and I normally don't buy too much stuff. I usually spend like under $2,000 a month on average. Like that's including rent and everything. I usually don't spend too much. It's all saving. But I do notice that my credit cards have been asking me if I want a credit extension. I said, sure, why not? I got more credit, cool. But I've been seeing a lot more like, hey, Michael, you're pre-approved for a car. Go out and buy a car. I wonder if these companies are trying to get you to spend more from like the monetary, so like Visa saying, hey, you want more credit? Or not, it was Capital One saying that, but you get my point. I wonder if that's what's going on here as well, because people are just spending a lot, like, credit. Yeah, here's from Fox Business. Credit card debt is at record high as Americans deal with inflation and rising costs. But like, why are people putting so much on their credit cards? Like, for me, a credit card is something that I use to get cash back. But if I wouldn't buy it with my debit card, I wouldn't buy it with my credit card. I don't just buy stuff on my credit card just to have it, if that makes sense. But I'm in a weird financial spot, I guess, compared to most people. Is there a chart? Credit card debt chart? Chart? Okay. So, Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Oh, gosh. So, over here, let me zoom in for a little bit for you guys. Okay. So, back over here to the very left above my head, you guys can see it now, but it's Q1 of 2004. And you can just see how high this is going. It dipped down, 2020, it dipped down just a little bit throughout the pandemic. But look at that. I mean, we're just going sky high here. Oh, does it stop? Oh, I guess it stops right there. But yeah, we're just going sky high. That is, wow. And housing debt versus non-housing debt. So mortgage balances show on consumer credit reports increased by $121 billion during the first quarter of 2023 and stood at $12.04 trillion at the end of March. A modest increase. Yeah, a modest increase. Balances on home equity lines of credit, Helico, increased by $3 billion, the fourth consecutive quarterly increase following a nearly 13-year declining trend. So people are putting debt on their using the equity lines of their house. Like, this is so wild. I'm not going to say this is some type of really crazy bubble or something. This is something like horrible, but it can be horrible. Like, this can be very, very bad if they don't have the ability to pay back their debt. If you can't pay back the debt that you took against your house as collateral, you lose the house and then you become homeless. It sucks. So yeah, this could definitely end in a bad situation, but we're not there yet, I guess you would say. What did it say? Okay. Let's see right here. This is interesting. Credit card balances were flat in the first quarter at $986 billion, buckling the typical trend of balance declines in the first quarter. So I guess it normally goes down. It did not go down. It just went flat. Not good news, but not necessarily terrible news, right? Auto loans balances increased by $10 billion in the first quarter, continuing the upward trajectory that has been in place since 2011. This makes sense because we saw that everybody tried to buy a car during inflation. They were kind of all forced to, and they had to wait for the price to come back down. Then all of a sudden, demand shot back up. Other balances, which include retail cards and other consumer loans, increased by $5 billion. Student loan balances now stand at $1.6 trillion, up by $9 billion from the previous quarter. In total, non-housing balances grew by $24 billion. Something that's very interesting about all this is we've been talking a little bit about student loans. We haven't talked about them too much. But I think at the end of this year, I think CNBC or Fox Business, one of the two, said something in October, November. Correct me if I'm wrong out there. But I think people who had student loans that were frozen, I think they're going to have to start paying them back, which means if they're paying back student loans, they're not putting that money back into their economy. So I do think that's going to be another headwind, I guess you would say, in a time when we're getting a lot of AI tailwinds for us. And Nicholas, happy to see you back. Hope you're doing very, very well. And you, hey Orange, you're sorting Doge and futures. Right now it seems like everybody's trying to play some shorts, I guess you could say. I guess it depends on what your strategy is, because some people are looking for a big bounce here. That's right here. It's right here. And then Marcus, Dogecoin, yeah. Dogecoin hasn't really changed since we last talked about it. It's still kind of around those support levels here. Let's go to the weekly chart, right? So I think we talked about it a few days ago after it kind of had that big drop. But Dogecoin is still holding support here. It didn't make a new low compared, but it came close. At this point, you're kind of in this loading buying zone here after the breakdown. Let me take away the breakdown uptrend here. Really, if you want to have a good place, you're going to have to try to buy it down here on 0.041, which is a while away. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's a far drop. But right now, we're just kind of in this holding pattern here, waiting to have a short-term reversal. If Bitcoin really does actually break back down, continue the breakdown, that we just had below the 200 and the 20-week moving averages, we're probably going to end up coming back down here to 24,000, which will push Dogecoin probably back down here to some of the support we saw around 5.5 cents or so. Hopefully nothing below that. But at this point, if you're looking to make some money off of Dogecoin, you're most likely going to look to try to play a little bounce from here to here, with the stop loss maybe around 0.05973. To me, though, I'm looking at this, on a 50-minute chart, you're probably looking a lot more for a shorting opportunity because we managed to rally back up here. We're hitting this level of resistance, and now waiting for a pullback before maybe trying to make another breakout move. So most people are probably going to short term here, entering a position, letting it come back down, probably having a price target of 0.06045, or maybe down here to 0.0603. Yeah. And then hoping they can do a switcheroo basically and go from short to long to try to do that play one more time here. You just got to watch out for all this news coming out because, as you guys can see, Dogecoin's no exception to this. You're just seeing a lot of let's go to maybe the 50-minute chart again. You're seeing a lot of crazy volatility here, and I think Elon Musk is even doing some tweets every now and again, which is like just either helping shorts or hurting shorts. It's a weird world out here right now. I think Elon's in Italy or something right now though, so maybe no tweeting about Dogecoin. There we go. And hey, Monica Weinberg, what do you see the market downtrend starting? At what level are you planning to start buying stocks long term again? Same questions for Bitcoin, Ethereum. What low numbers do you see for them? So for me, let me just move my microphone here. For me, the stock market is a lot different than the crypto markets right now, just because the stock market has all this AI boom coming. Excuse me. Jeez, talking too much and burping too much. Excuse me. All right. So as far as Bitcoin's concerned, right now I've been doing dollar cost averaging, and that's something that I am fine with doing. When I feel like it's gone too high, like I thought it did a few weeks ago, I just stop buying, especially when I see the momentum kind of swinging in there, so I can start dollar cost averaging later on. For me, if I wanted to get more excited about buying Bitcoin at this point, and like the next week or so, I would need to see Bitcoin at $23,000 for me to really want to go long and really buy into it. Otherwise, I'm happy to do some like short-term day trades here, which are going to be fine. But when it comes to like, hey, how far do I think this thing can come down if we go into a recession? That probably still goes back down to somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000, and anywhere in there, I'm going to be happy, because you have to remember when you're talking about Bitcoin, I believe we're going to go into $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 next bull market. So anything you can buy Bitcoin, anytime you can buy Bitcoin, even below like 50,000, 40,000, 30,000, it's still a good long-term bet. But I know we're always looking for that next bang for your buck, so to speak. So I would say really 23,000, 24,000 is kind of where I'm looking to kind of start buying more and aggressively. But my fear here is that Bitcoin's going to kind of go down because the momentum is slowed. We've broken down both below the 200 moving average, or the weekly moving average, and the 20. My fear here is that over the next couple weeks, we're going to see the stock market have a pretty sizable pullback, not go into full on like tear, not going down kamikaze, swinging at a aircraft carrier or something like that, but just kind of gliding down from a nice general pullback. I'm worried that might drag down Bitcoin maybe below 23,000. I don't think it's going to happen, because right now I feel like they're so uncorrelated that because Bitcoin's been going down and the stock market's been going up, possibly when the stock market comes back down, Bitcoin should be okay. I'm hoping it doesn't just, only the negatives affect it, so to speak. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. As far as the stock market here, I was just talking about this a few minutes ago. Maybe the best way to go is use the SPY as an example. There we go. If I'm looking to open up some shorts at this point in time, I'm hoping that I can open them up somewhere between 450 and 462 as far as the SPY is concerned. I'd like to see a larger breakdown. If you're talking about like a very large breakdown, you're going to probably have to wait until the end of the summer, unfortunately. You can still have some pretty big drops here. Like, we can drop all the way back down here to 422 really quickly. But if you're looking for that really big seismic drop that you get when you're having these long uptrends that break down, we're probably not going to have that for a few more months here because the AI caused the breakout that kept us going and going and going. We weren't supposed to be up here, guys. We're not supposed to have Apple going to all-time highs, right? The market should look kind of right now a little bit more like how Amazon is looking, but you see AMD boosting back up here quite a bit, Google boosting back up here quite a bit, Tesla boosting back up here, Nvidia going to all-time highs, Microsoft about all-time highs, Meta getting back up there after a huge drop. I made a lot of money off of Meta. I'm pretty happy with that buy, and I did a while ago. Broadcom making close to all-time highs here, but it did make all-time highs here a few weeks ago. Bank of America, well, this is a bank. We don't need to talk about banks. Netflix is more of what I think the market should look like here, but even Netflix is back from 167 back up here. Now, I did buy some, but my gosh, guys, I wanted to buy a lot more. If we go into a recession, which I think we will, you're going to see a lot of this eventually come back down. But short term, though, I think Bitcoin is going to be a lot better of a purchase than your Apples or your Googles and stuff of that nature. You see stuff like Apple. I think you're looking at this. Remember how we've been talking about these moving averages and how they're kind of whoa, they're kind of far away. Well, we're seeing this. We are going to have a death cross over here eventually, but again, this is getting pushed out further and further and further because of this this AI bubble that's popping up, because now everything is just going up and up and up and up. I guess even the 200 weekly moving averages are going to get pushed up even higher here as well. But as far as the major indexes here, I'm still of the belief that if we do go into recession, which I think we will, we are going to make new lows. Okay, not that we're just going to come back in here and go sideways, that we're actually going to make new lows. And that's going to be where I want to buy in here. So if we come back down here to less than $10,000, I'll be pouncing on it. But really, anywhere less than the lows we saw back over here in September of last year, depending on which chart you're looking at, this one is October, I'll be buying in there. I'll be happy to buy in there. And you can even see the Dow Jones here is making a move for a breakout here pretty soon as well. So we're seeing a lot of bullishness. For the bears and stuff like that, we're going to have to wait a while, it looks like, to have a really big capitulation moment. Because what was leading Bitcoin down last time when we were kind of focusing all this stuff is we had, let me think of the names because I didn't use many of the exchanges. Well, okay, we had FTX right here. Pointer, okay. So we had FTX right here. We had Celsius over here, mixed in with some Voyager, mixed in with some BlockFi. It was catastrophe after catastrophe after catastrophe. I had never even heard of the Celsius exchange before it went kaput. I guess it was who was promoting it a lot? BitBoy, I guess. Because I think he lost some money in it or something, or he was holding a lot of money. Maybe that's what it was. And so we just had a bunch of nasty events that happened. Even over here when we had this big drop, and that was FTX. I don't think we were actually supposed to have that big of a drop. I think we were supposed to break out something like this, and we were supposed to come back up here, and then we'd be up much higher towards the mid 30s or something. But FTX kind of really screwed us over there. Really screwed us over. Let's go back over here to the 15. All right. And hey, Ward, Tesla dropping? So Tesla, back over here. This is a monthly chart type of thing. All the freaking splits Tesla's had to do is absolutely insane. Okay. So the first time we saw Tesla come back down, I think we had a couple sizes for it, just like what we did with Apple. That first one was down here at the support level around $109. It barely hit that, so it only gave you a couple opportunities to really buy. That next one is if things get really, really bad, you could see Tesla coming back down here to $63 or so. I think if we do go into a recession, which again I still think we will, I do think somewhere in between the zone is going to be fine. Personally, what I did last time is we just started using the Fibonacci retracements. we go here. There we go there. And then settings, let's put the little plus sign on here. There we go. Maybe somewhere around 70 bucks, I think is a decent goal here. And then from there, you're probably going to see a really robust move back up just like it did before. But I think it'd be reasonable to say we come back down here to 70 bucks. That'd be a massive drop. Just understand that. Big, massive drop. We saw it over here with how Tesla kind of had a free-for-all for like, I don't know, what was this, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, 5 weeks, 36 days, a month, a little bit. Tesla fell on 50%. That's totally something it can do again. I don't know why I'm saying the word totally, but that is definitely something it can do again. Reminds me of when we were talking about Apple and the buying opportunities here. We were talking about some of these order blocks that we were looking at as far as these big levels of support. We didn't actually hit any of those big ones. I guess we hit that one right there, which wasn't all too good. But after that, you know, we were looking at here, then the big one is here. My price target, I guess, is like kind of around $100 for Apple. This is where I really, really want to buy Apple. It's just a place where I don't even know if we're going to get down to it. But this is my dream, to be able to buy Apple for like $100. It's something I really want to see happen. If I'm going to be more realistic, between $116 and $102, I think that's a perfectly reasonable area for me to want to buy Apple at when we see this upcoming recession, as I would put it, right? But for now, I mean, it's zooming, and you can't even ignore that it's zooming, because like we were looking like, hey, maybe it'll have a breakdown here. Nope, it's still going. It's still it's still going perfectly fine. Still humming and humming and humming. Oh, let me go back over here to the Bitcoin very fast. There we go. After that big drop we had earlier. I don't know if we talked about this in the half hour. How is copy trading going? Oh yeah, let me see. I've pretty much been digging myself out of a hole as far as what happened. I got smashed by that Binance news. So let me see. Copy trade. Traders. Am I on the front page? I don't know. Can I do this? Okay, here we go. So I'm no longer 90% accurate, or maybe does it show it over here? Oh, I have to go to traders very fast. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. I'm no longer in the 90% category. Now I'm in the 78, like 80% for the last 3 weeks. 7 days, I kind of picked back my pace a little bit again. But definitely, I got slammed very, very hard through the Bitcoin move. Maybe a 1 hour chart will make it easier. No, I don't remember. It was when the Binance news broke. Maybe it was over here, and maybe that's too soon. Maybe no. When the Binance news broke, my longs just got broke. Stop loss. And there was another trader who's just like me that had the same thing happen. So you can see if I go over here to you can see right here I have one bad trade, but I'm kind of steadily building it back up. I'm not even taking as much risk. But you know, 10x long still same, but a few bucks here, few bucks here. I've been getting a lot more green, and so to speak, right? A lot more green. There's another guy who I like a lot. I don't know him, but I know his account, I guess you would say. The guy's name is Sauger. Yeah, this guy. We had the same thing happen to us, but he dug himself into a further hole. I think. Wait, can I go back in time? This guy was like the number one ranked guy for like a hot minute here. So he was making some steady trades, you see, but then something happened on that day where everything was going down. Bad. Mine looked like red like this too, but I only had so many reds. This guy kept on trading, and it got worse and worse. And I think he's taking a break because he hasn't traded since 6/13. And he probably just had to like take a chill pill, and I totally understand that. But his 7-day win rate went down to 52%, 68% for the 3-week win rate. And then there was one other person I think that was doing well here. Traders, expert student class has been doing well. Kill bit, oh, that probably not too well actually. 34% is not what you want to see. Anyone else doing very well here? Right psych again, I guess. That's not terrible, not good. I think everybody kind of got hit hard by that. Everybody except for this guy, expert student class. Make sure to give him a follow if you ever have some extra money, I guess. Anything else? Crypto Dime seems to be doing okay. Seems like a newer person on here. Flux seems to be doing okay. Alpha Algo seems to be doing okay. Well, maybe not so much over the 3 weeks, but neither am I, right? But yeah, it's been going okay, but like I got slammed, and I'll be honest with you, I got slammed during that big SEC going after Binance. Annihilated my longs, just annihilated them. Now I've kind of dug myself out of the hole, but it's still going to take some more time. Oh, sorry, hold on. My thigh was about to cramp because I was hiking this morning, and oh my god, I do not want to have a cramp on the stream because that hurts a lot. But yeah, it's going okay. I was a lot more worried when I had all those like stop losses hit at once. Now I'm just like, okay, time to grind, and get those small profits that eventually make you back up there. But yeah, I'm praying that the SEC doesn't do anything else. Like personally, I hate Gary Gensler because of moments like that. Because like there was copy trading I got annihilated on, but I also got annihilated on like personal trades as well. Because a lot of times the personal trades work out with my copy trading, right? It's not like I make different trades. And so yeah, I really don't like Gary Gensler because that news hurt my heart a little bit. I'd say, do I know anything about Mullen? Mullen Automotive, I have not heard much about Mullen Automotive as of late. Usually, if you're getting into some of these EV companies, you're just going to have to put down a pot of cash and just wait or dollar cost average into them and hope that they have the expertise and the funding to keep going as more and more of these companies tend to go into battle with the Teslas and the GMs and the Fords and stuff like that. There's a huge war brewing for the EVs, the EV wars, so to speak. And it's going to be very hard to insert yourself in there. But I do think as long as you are not spending recklessly and you guys are just trying to make a car and not make a cool futuristic thing like Elon, like Teslas are so crazy cool, but not every car needs to be a Tesla. There are cars that can just be an electric car. And I think that's where other manufacturers can try to navigate into the EV market. But you know, everybody always wants that bell and whistles thing. So if they can build a better mousetrap, they may get, not communism, capitalism should reward them. Like electric car Bellevue, I think it was, not Bellevue, Bellevue. Electric car Bellevue. Here it is, this place. I just saw a commercial for this, and I am not entirely sure what it is, but I saw a commercial for it. So it's called Polestar. And they have their nice cars, right? But this is kind of like around the same type of price, I think, as Tesla. I think. But you can see all these cars, all the stuff that comes inside of it. So there are things happening. This is in Bellevue, which is like the ritzy part of the Washington state. 2023 Polestar 2. Can I get a pre-owned one? Polestar 2, 2022. So okay. What's the difference? I can't read everything. Or maybe I'm too zoomed in. No, I'm at 100% zoom in. We'll just go for the most expensive. I don't know. Earliest estimated delivery, early July. How do I click on something? Why can't I click on anything? This is what's annoying. Oh my gosh. Let's see. They had to be so fancy. Okay. Polestar 3. Okay, here we go. Oh, ew. No, I don't want a crossover. I want a car. Explorer. Is this a car? Okay, here's the car. The premium performance. Oh, it's a hybrid? What? Okay. Polestar 2. Yeah, okay. Electric performance fastback. Look at that. So, you know, the range up to 320 miles, charging time 28 minutes. EPA data. Oh, that's cool. 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. I don't know if that's good. I don't have a car that goes fast. I guess you can get special colors and stuff like that in it. But yeah, you're seeing a lot of cars like this pop up. See, not the big tablet, but something smaller. I don't know how you get a car like this fixed, but I saw the commercial and the car looked very luxurious, so I kind of looked at it. Now I'm not going to buy this because I have no reason to get a nice car. I refuse to spend money on a nice car. Um, yeah, and I guess it has like Google operating system or something. Offers, spaces, ownership, fleet and business, additional sustainability. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, there's a lot of technology moving forward here. But yeah, as far as Mullen, I think you mean Mullen Automotive. Small, they'll get there, but I mean it's been a while since people have really plopped down a bunch of money. Probably don't want to be putting too much more money in there, to be frank. But overall, over time, it should be fine. All right. Let me see right here very fast. But okay, everybody, I think I'm probably going to end the stream here. Looks like we kind of all died off in the chat, and I can't blame it. It's been a very, very long week. I will be live tomorrow again. I'm probably going to be live in the morning and in the afternoon. I think tomorrow I'm going with Loki to the beach, so I'll be streaming in the morning and then streaming at night. Because I do want to stream more. It's just this camera, like the anxiety it gives me. Like, literally, guys. Hear that? These are my anxiety medication I take like 2 hours before I stream because I don't like not having a camera. You see this? Oh, actually, I don't know what this is. Yeah, this is the other part of my anxiety medication. Okay? And then this is ADHD medication that I don't really take that much because I don't like being under ADHD meds. But anxiety medications. What do you call it? I don't like it. It freaks me out. That's why I've been streaming as much, so I apologize for that. But when my camera gets back up and running, my zone is back to normal. I will be streaming a lot more. I'm going to try to stream twice for you guys as well. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. And just keep an eye on this market right now, everybody. We're still in this downtrend. We've been talking about it for a while now as far as how the momentum was slowing. I think the surprise for me, and maybe most of you guys, maybe just for me maybe, was how Bitcoin did follow the thesis here of slowing down momentum, but the stock market did not. And I'm guessing that's just because of what we've been talking about as far as all the AI booms and such. So see you guys tomorrow, and Loki says goodbye as well. Thanks.